Watch this in silence, not just without noise, but without expectation, without the need to understand, because this is not a video to be watched. It's a memory your soul has been waiting to recall. There is something ancient inside you, older than your name, older than your body, older than every thought that ever passed through your mind. It waits. It waits beneath the noise. It waits beneath the roles you play, the masks you wear, the stories you tell yourself just to make sense of a world that never quite fit. It waits, not with impatience, but with stillness. Because what is timeless is never in a rush. So sit with this. Let your shoulders drop. Let your eyes soften. Let your breath deepen. Not because you're trying to relax, but because you're finally remembering what it feels like to stop running. You've been moving for so long, chasing, achieving, pretending, proving, trying to earn your worth, trying to escape your past, trying to predict a future that never arrives. But none of that is you. And right now, here, in this quiet, you can start to feel that. Not through thought, not through effort, but through being. There is something watching your thoughts, listening to your mind spin its stories. There is something still beneath everything that moves. It is not interested in your accomplishments. It does not care about your failures. It does not measure your value based on your productivity, your appearance, or your performance. It simply is. And it is you, the real you, the part of you that was never broken, the part of you that never needed fixing, the part that is whole, not because it achieved anything, but because it never stopped being what it already was. That is what this video is here to remind you of. So if you're ready, not to become something new, but to remember something eternal, stay. Just stay. You stayed. That means something. It means there's a voice inside you that's louder than fear, even if it speaks in a whisper. It means part of you knows, without proof, without logic, without guarantees, that there's more to you than the noise you've inherited from the world. Let's go deeper now. Close your eyes, not to shut the world out, but to turn your gaze inward, to see with something other than sight. Notice what's still moving inside you. A flicker of thought, a twitch of judgment, a question rising. What am I doing here? Don't push it away. Notice it. Watch it like a cloud moving across an endless sky. You are not the cloud. You are the sky. Your thoughts are not the enemy, but they are not the truth either. They are habits, echoes. Most of them were never even yours to begin with. They were given to you by voices that didn't know who you really are, by systems that taught you to be efficient but not alive, by parents, teachers, media, strangers, each adding another layer to the mask. And you wore it well, didn't you? You learned how to smile when it hurt, how to nod when you were drowning, how to look strong when you were cracking wide open inside. But all of that was just survival. Now it's time for something else. Now it's time to see what's under the mask, not to destroy it, but to understand that it was never you. Let it fall, piece by piece, image by image, identity by identity. You don't need to be impressive. You don't need to be perfect. You don't even need to be confident. You just need to be honest. Honest enough to admit that somewhere, deep inside, you feel disconnected, not broken, not wrong, just distant from something sacred. That distance ends here, not because you found the answer, but because you stopped searching outside yourself. Feel that? That tiny shift in your chest, that softening in your breath. That is presence. That is the ancient thing waking up. Don't analyze it. Don't try to hold it. Just allow it. Let it expand. Let it unfold. Let it breathe through you. Because this moment is not happening to you. It's happening as you. Stay with this. Let whatever's rising, rise. Tears, stillness, resistance. You don't have to name it. You don't have to explain it. You only have to let it move through. This is what happens when you stop running, when you stop distracting, numbing, fixing, when you sit quietly enough for long enough. The truth begins to speak. And it does not speak in words. It speaks in presence. It speaks in knowing. It speaks in the quiet pull of your soul saying, "You've been looking everywhere, except here." This isn't self-help. This isn't motivation. This is remembering. Remembering that before anyone told you who to be, you simply were. There was a time you existed without identity. As a child, before the world gave you a script, you just were. You laughed without apology. You cried without shame. You played without purpose. You loved without walls. And that part of you never left. It just got buried. Beneath expectations. Beneath labels. Beneath a world that taught you to perform instead of feel. But feeling is the key. Not controlling, not achieving, just feeling. So feel what's here now. The ache in your chest. The warmth in your hands. The breath that rises and falls without your permission. That breath is your anchor. It has carried you through every moment, even the ones you thought you wouldn't survive. You're still here. And that means something. It means you're ready. Ready to stop pretending. Ready to stop pushing. Ready to remember. You are not your wounds. You are not your story. You are not your thoughts. You are what remains when all of that falls away. Still, silent, whole. Take another breath. But this time, don't just breathe. Feel it. Feel the air enter you like a wave remembering the shore. Feel it expand, not just in your lungs, but through your whole being. You are not breathing air. You are being breathed by life itself. This is presence. Not the kind you force, not the kind you chase, but the kind that's always been here, waiting behind your thoughts, beneath your roles, below your questions. You don't need to understand this. You just need to stop resisting it. You see, presence doesn't need your effort. It needs your surrender. This is the shift that changes everything, from doing to being, from seeking to seeing, from fear to awareness. And in that shift, the ancient part of you awakens, the one who never forgot, the one who watched, silently, as you got caught in battles that were never yours, as you tried to become what you thought the world needed, as you silenced your own soul to be accepted. That part of you is still here. It's not angry. It's not disappointed. It's just waiting, waiting for you to return, not to who you were, but to who you've always been, before the forgetting. Let yourself drop now, deeper, under the noise, under the effort, into the warm, unmoving center of you. You're not falling, you're arriving, here, this moment, this stillness, this breath. Nothing more is required, nowhere else to be, nothing else to become. You don't have to find your purpose. You are the purpose. You don't have to fix your life. You are life, unfolding perfectly, even in your confusion. Sit with that. Let it settle. Let it sink into your bones. Let it echo into every cell that ever believed it had to prove something. Let the proving end here. Let the becoming dissolve. Let the truth rise, not like lightning, but like dawn, soft, quiet, undeniable. Still here? Good. That means you're not just watching this, you're feeling it. That means something ancient is already stirring beneath your skin, like roots waking up after a long, silent winter. Let's go deeper. You've spent years trying to be someone, trying to get it right, trying to win love, approval, peace, clarity, like they were trophies you had to earn. You've mastered the art of surviving. You've smiled when you wanted to scream. You've built walls so high that even you forgot what they were protecting. But here's the truth. No one told you. You were never supposed to be perfect. You were supposed to be real. Real is raw. Real is soft. Real is full of contradictions. And you, exactly as you are right now, are realer than you've ever let yourself believe. Because being real requires presence. And presence is terrifying. It means showing up without armor. It means being seen, not the curated version, not the filtered face, not the edited highlight reel, but the trembling, breathing, unfinished truth of you. It means admitting you don't know. It means sitting with discomfort. It means choosing stillness over escape. And that is power. Not the power to control or dominate, but the power to stay. To stay when everything in you wants to run. To feel when everything in you wants to numb. To open when everything in you wants to close. You are not weak for feeling lost. You are not broken for feeling empty. You are not failing because you haven't figured it all out. You are awakening. And awakenings are not loud. They don't come with fireworks or perfect timing. They come quietly, in the moments you least expect them. Like this one, right here, right now. Feel your breath again. Not to calm yourself, not to do anything at all. Just to notice that it's always been with you. Like a friend you ignored. Like a song you forgot you knew the words to. Like a memory your soul has been whispering while your mind was busy chasing shadows. This moment, right now, is your invitation. Not to change, not to transcend, but to remember. Remember that you are already enough. Not because you earned it, but because you exist. That's the secret. That's the truth. That's the ancient thing inside you that's been waiting for you to stop, waiting for you to listen, waiting for you to come home. And now, you're almost there. One more breath, one more surrender, one more truth to meet face to face. You, as you are, here, now, always. So now you're here, not in the future, not in the past, not in the story of who you thought you had to be. You're simply here. Notice what that feels like. No striving, no hiding, no becoming. Just being. Maybe for the first time in a very long time. You're not trying to reach something. You're letting something reach you. This silence, this stillness, this breath, they are not empty. They are full of you, the real you, the one who's been watching your whole life unfold from behind the scenes, patiently waiting for you to turn around and say, I see you. And now you have. There's nothing to fix, nothing to force, nothing to prove. You've already arrived. You don't need a map for what comes next, because what's next isn't a destination. It's a way of moving through the world, with softness instead of striving, with presence instead of pressure, with truth instead of performance. Let everything you've remembered here today become how you breathe, how you listen, how you walk. Let it touch the way you hold yourself and the way you hold others. Because this wasn't just a moment, this was a returning. And returns don't end. They echo, they deepen, they unfold. Again and again, every time you pause long enough to hear what's always been here. So as this video fades, let the silence stay. Not as absence, but as presence. Not as a void, but as a doorway. There's nothing more to say, only something to carry. And you already are. You are carrying it now. So breathe. Just breathe. And remember, the ancient part of you is no longer waiting. It's awake, and it's home.